Today I'll be attempting to skate the widest trucks ever made. These are the 13-inch wide ST1 hollows from Slappy, and these things are ridiculously big. I've got a set of 10-inch Slappy trucks on one of my setups, which feel pretty normal on my bigger egg boards, but 13 inches wide is just completely outrageous. And to make things even more ridiculous, I'll be chucking these on my 14.25-inch wide Eggzilla deck, which will fit pretty well because that board is roughly 13 inches over the trucks. And I'll be using my old Spitfire radials that are worn down to about 50 millimeters now. So hopefully that lightens the setup a bit, but this is going to be so hefty that I don't think the smaller wheels are really going to help at all. Slappy trucks are lighter than other truck brands since they have the cutouts in the base plates and under the hangers, and their hollows have hollow axles and kingpins, but this 13-inch model has solid axles for obvious reasons, because it's 13 inches long and it needs to be as strong as possible. So as light as they tried to make these, both of these together weigh 1.1 kilos, or 2.4 pounds, which sounds so ridiculous for a pair of trucks. So let's slap this ridiculous setup together, head to the park, and try and get a first impression of these 13-inch wide trucks. I think I'll take that. Alright, been getting carried away with this board because it's actually so fun, and it didn't take too long to get used to, but oh, it almost does cover this whole edge. Oh no. Alright, that's first challenge. I want to back 50 this and get into some grinds. 13-inch trucks, covers the whole edge. It covers the whole thing. Alright. Oh my gosh. This is so scary because it's pretty much like back 50ing a square rail. The equivalent of it anyway. That felt crazy. Oh, crooked grind. Let's see how that goes. That's wild. Hopefully that works. That was actually so much harder than I expected. I've been saving the rail for last because I'm terrified. There's so much room. I want to feeble and back 50 the whole rail. I'm just so scared to try it. Hopefully this goes well, but there's so much room to lock in. I'm going to start by trying some little feebles on the end. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh my God. I can't tell if that feebled or not. It felt like a board slide. Might as well just hop on from the beginning now. Get this over with. Get the fear out of me. Oh no, I'm scared. Oh, feel like back 50 might be safer. All right, my camera just died. So you missed that massive battle I just went through trying to commit to grinding this rail. Feeble wasn't working and it felt too sketchy. I was slipping into board side too much. So I decided to go back 50 and I actually landed it. So now I'm trying to do the whole rail before the lights turn off. I did about halfway just before. So now I want to do the whole rail. And then maybe I'll try feeble after, but I think the lights are turning off in 10 minutes exactly. It's so like pinched I can barely get off. Oh my god, that's wild. I'll try feeble now. We've got about 8 minutes left. Actually, one more back 50. It just feels so cool. There we go, that one felt good. I'm gonna try some feebles, but it's so scary. It just keeps slipping into board slide. I'll try and do the very end of the rail first, and then see if I can work my way up to doing the whole one. Little one, just a little one. My God, that was a board slide. Yes! All right, running out of time, so I'm just gonna go for the whole rail. Hop on. Oh, that's gonna be hard to hold. All right. Oh my God. I thought I was feebling. Oh, it took me so long to realize I wasn't in a feeble just then. That was so scary. Yes, that felt sick. I'll try and get the feeble one more time from this angle so you can see how ridiculously pinched it is. On the way back. Damn. I actually had such a good session last night. I got caught up in the session just skating so much. I had my tripod set up with my camera on it, but just out of the way because there was so many skaters at the park last night. And we were all just having such a good session that I kept forgetting that I was filming a video because I was just involved in the vibe so hard. But super fun session. This board was a lot harder to skate than previously when I only had the 10-inch trucks on it. Those 13-inch trucks definitely add some extra weight to this board. And even the look of it, just looking at the trucks on this board looks super ridiculous. It's such a giant setup. Surprisingly though, I started riding it and I got used to it pretty quickly. So I was whipping around the park, just skating. I was actually skating for a long time before I realized I needed to film some stuff and get clips on this setup. So I might look a little bit more comfortable as soon as the session started because I had already been skating for like 40 minutes before that. But it did feel like I got used to it pretty quickly. To be fair, I have ridden this setup a few times, but just not with the 13-inch wide trucks. And grinding on these trucks felt crazy. I tested out some of the cross locks on the quarter pipe down the bottom first, and the board was just shifted so hard. I did a few back 50s on some of the flat ledges and it couldn't even tell I was locked in. I felt like I was too far in on the ledge, but my wheels were still hanging on the other side of the coping and I was locked into the grind, but it was just, I was so far away from the edge of the ledge that it didn't feel right because the trucks are so damn long. Even doing that back 50 across the ledge on top of the manual pad and the wheels slotted over each side, that felt ridiculous. It was fully like I was doing a 50-50 on a square rail. And when it came to the flat bar, I was so terrified to try and skate that thing. I really didn't know what to expect hopping on and trying to 50 or feeble the rail, but aiming and being precise trying to lock into a grind was so scary at first. So getting a crosslock back 50 across that whole round rail felt ridiculous. It felt so sick, but it was just like a feeling I've never felt before. Having my board shifted so far to the side as if I was almost in a board slide, but still knowing I was on a 50-50 was just, it's just mind blowing. Then I had to finish on the feeble and kind of win that battle because it wasn't working at the beginning beginning. Then I figured if I keep my board a bit more straight, it wouldn't slip into the board side, and ended up being able to feeble the whole rail. So I'm actually really happy that I got that, because I wasn't sure if that would be possible. I didn't actually know what would be possible on this setup. So I'm pretty happy with all the tricks I landed, and I'm so surprised I was able to do so much. I did fit in a few flip tricks at the end as the lights were slowly turning off. I kick flipped it, switch flipped it, nollie flipped it, and I would have continued to skate, but my legs were just so dead. After a full session on this board, trying to pop it and get that thing off the ground, my legs were so dead, and they're so sore today. So these trucks suit the Eggzilla perfectly because it's about 13 inches over the trucks. And now I finally have trucks that can live on this board, and I'm going to use this setup. I'm going to keep it exactly how it is now that I've actually got all the components. This Eggzilla setup is going to stay exactly how it is. So it's obviously not an everyday setup. My legs are smoked from riding it for one session, but it's so fun to have as a secondary setup, and so many people at the park were just tripping out seeing me skate that thing, and they were so shocked to see all the tricks I was doing too, because it looks ridiculous, but once you realize the dimensions, it's short, the wheelbase is short, everything kind of works well. Like the dimensions to this whole setup is really good. It's a lot more skatable than you'd expect. Even Ty got on it at the end and ended up doing a pretty good kickflip on it, and he was so hyped. And he rides an 8.5 popsicle. We actually swapped boards at the end, and I was riding his 8.5, and I ended up getting a double flip on it and then a switch double flip on it, just because going from the Eggzilla to his 8.5 popsicle setup, it felt so light, and I had a feeling I'd be able to double flip that thing, and it just worked so well. The thing was just so light, it felt so easy to do that. So super fun session. These trucks are sick. They're so ridiculous. It's so funny having this setup, but it's actually so skatable still. This is how the setup's going to stay now, and I've actually got a proper designated complete setup for the Eggzilla that I'm going to try and ride more often because it was super fun. But either way, I am super excited to have my Eggzilla set up properly now. I've got the right trucks for it. I'm starting to see what I'm capable of on this setup, so I'm going to continue riding it more and more from now on. If you do want to see that previous session I had on this board where I did have the 39mm boardy cake wheel set up on it, then check out this video right here.